Images are embedded in the human species. They allow us to relive our highest points of joy, and they remind us of the darkest parts of our history. 5 photographers from across the United States have come together to compete and prove they not only have the technical skill.
Dude, this is way harder than I thought.
We made it.
But they have the artistic voice to change the world around them.
I'm Roxy Rodriguez. Any free moment I have is fashion photography.
What stood out for me about Roxy was the personality she captures in pictures. There's a whimsical nature. There's a charming touch to her pictures. They speak to a certain moment in time.
This is what I do. This is what I know, even better than I know myself sometimes.
My name is Chris Palermo. A lot of my stuff is travel, documentary type work.
Chris has the ability to tell a story with a single moment in the picture. You see a huge landscape, and then all of a sudden in the corner is something quite unexpected, something quite colorful and bright and unique.
I really like shooting street style stuff and making images out of things that are already there.
My name is Jemiah Wilson. I'm a beauty photographer mostly. I want a lot of my work to be something that when people look at it actually has meaning to people, that actually captivates them.
Jemiah has a unique skill at capturing a great portrait. He knows how to stop a subject in time and capture the intensity of who they are.
I'm ready to go. Let's shoot something.
I'm Scott Barrero. I'm a commercial photographer. I was initially a biochemist. I started to realize that that lifestyle wasn't for me. It wasn't exciting enough. My mom actually bought me a camera, a little Canon point and shoot, and I just fell in love.
What stood out about Scott to me was his ability to capture a landscape, and in every one of Scott's pictures, I could see that narrative.
My name's Andrew Kearns.
Flying to New York. If I lose, will you still love me?
I'm definitely more interested in and do a lot more lifestyle photography.
Boarding the plane now. New York.
When I look at Andrew's pictures, every single shot looks like one massive story. Only the greatest photographers have the ability to take picture after picture after picture, and they have their signature written all over it. Welcome to the Paper Factory Hotel in New York City. Now this week, you're going to be tested on a series of photographic challenges. Now we're going to be testing not just your technical ability, but of course your eye. Now in this competition, you're going to need to think on your feet if you wish to win. So get some sleep tonight, because tomorrow, the battle for top photographer begins.
I walked in for the challenge and it was studio. I had never shot studio before.
Good morning and welcome to your first challenge. Today we're going to jump right in with a test that's specifically designed to expose your technical weaknesses and strengths. We're talking about action photography.
I was like, sweet, sports action. I know this like the back of my hand.
Here with us is our guest judge, action and sports photographer, David Bergman.
Hey guys, how's it going? Exciting.
David Bergman is one of the most sought-after action photographers in the industry today. He shot countless athletes, musicians, celebrities and models, and whatever his subject, he always finds a way to capture that moment.
I was familiar with his work, so it was cool to see a familiar photographer in there.
Now I bet you want to meet your subject. Let me introduce you to Miles Chamley Watson.
Nice. He's kind of like a golden boy of fencing. He's pretty tall, he's probably about like 8'9" or something.
Miles is a member of the US Olympic fencing team. He's one of the most extraordinary athletes that I've ever met, and unconventional at what he does. Not to mention, he has one of these.
Oh, wow. Miles has been photographed by a lot of great photographers over the years. I want to see what you guys can do with him. I want you to capture the essence of his athleticism and his personality and see how you capture it both technically and creatively.
I'm used to shooting pretty girls in moving dresses. Shooting an Olympic athlete is very different than that.
Now you're going to either have the Canon EOS 1DX Mark II or the brand new Canon 5D Mark IV. You're also going to get camera accessories provided by Canon and Manfrotto, as well as a lighting package provided by ProPhoto. Go ahead and pick a camera, please. Now, if you look at the backs of your cameras, you're going to see a number. That number corresponds to the order in which you're going to be shooting. you also have access to my personal first assistant, Toby Sprague. Toby's worked with me all over the world in the most extraordinary conditions. Use them as you see fit. One more added element, you're only going to have 30 minutes to capture the image of Miles. There's going to be no post-processing. You have to deliver a photo raw out of the camera.
Sometimes when I have to photograph an athlete, I've got 30 minutes. Sometimes I've got 30 seconds.
All right, guys. Andrew, I believe you're first.
Good luck, Andrew.
Good luck, man. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Andrew, I'd like you to meet Toby.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Alrighty, your 30 minutes starts now.
It was completely out of my element. I want to get a shot with, what's your name? Miles, right? Yeah.
Very awkward.
Very awkward.
I'm a kind of person to like kind of stay back and not be up in people's faces. Like I'll let them come to me and talk to me, kind of.
He still hasn't really said hello to the talent properly, introduced himself, engaged the talent.
Yeah, Miles is just standing there kind of awkwardly waiting for instruction on what to do.
All right. Nice.
Don't forget the essence of Miles.
Yes. The essence. We worked well together. Like he was very calm, and I was like, "Hey, can you do this instead?" And like we would communicate pretty well. So cool. Yeah, I think.
It's really good.
Cool. Yeah. I think I'm good. Should I fill some more time or something?
So Andrew, did I hear you say you're done? Hey, listen, if you think you're done, fantastic. But that being said, have you unleashed his full capabilities?
No, I should probably get some more.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, kind of like, okay, like this is good, like I'm done. And manager was like, are you sure you don't want to do action sports? I was like, oh yeah, I should probably do action sports. All right, like a gazelle in Montana, let's see it. Nice.
2 minutes left.
Sweet. Foil up a little more.
Tick tock, tick tock.
What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
Parrot?
Yeah. Cool. We did it.
The clock started. I looked at my options and I didn't really want to go too crazy. Talking to your portrait subject is probably the most important thing. You got a lady friend? Maybe a couple of them.
Nice.
There you go. You have a lady friend.
I saw that he had his medal there. I said, man, you should take that thing out in public with you. You know, the ladies probably love to see that thing. You know, with Miles, he has his signature move. He kind of went behind his back and like how he stabbed the dude in the chest from behind his back. Would it be weird, like out of character, to put another hand on here like this?
No.
He said, no, yeah, that's fine. And he kind of gave it a little bend there, so.
He's established a rapport. He's making him comfortable. I like it.
Nigel's behind you the whole time with David, kind of just, they're talking to each other. I don't know what they could probably just be talking about cars or something, but it's still pretty intimidating. It's like, what are they talking about back there? Looks good, yeah. What does this look like unzipped? Yeah, it's pretty intense there.
There we go.
Can we lose the shirt? You feel comfortable doing that?
Whatever you want, man.
Miles, why don't you like take your shirt off, man? I'd like to try something like that. And he kind of hesitated. We'll hold off on that one. We'll hold off there. Let's see. All right. Like, come on, man. Just, you don't want to take your shirt off? No, it's not that big a deal. You're a dude, you know. Yeah, you can close your jacket there. I want to get you stripping out here. I feel like if I pushed him harder, he probably would have done it. Nice working with you.
You too, man.
I think I was ambitious in what I was going to be able to shoot in 30 minutes. Hold that there, like to keep this motion. We're going to have to.
Well, that's a lot of light setups. I mean, he has a very exact idea of what he wants. Is that it becomes much more about what you want versus who he is.
Right.
Probably not going to be your full lunge.
He hasn't shot the picture yet.
Clock's ticking.
I had him do a couple side lunges, completely profile. It wasn't so dynamic. Aim a little, just a touch higher. Cool.
It's a pretty picture though. It's about 2 steps underexposed.
And let's go again.
But I just want to say one thing. It's not just about beautiful pictures. It's about the essence of who he is.
It's about focusing on the personality. And I was like, that's right, here we go. Thank you, Nigel. And Miles and I started talking, going back and forth, and I was like, just hit me with something cool. He's like, here, let me try something. And he does this jump, and I'm like, yes. Okay, we're honing in on this jump, and that's it.
5 minutes more.
Keep going. We're just gonna keep knocking this out.
Look at every frame, just shoot.
Here we go, it's time.
I made sure to introduce myself to him. Hi, Miles.
Hello, how are you? Good?
I'm Roxy. Nice to meet you. Before I get started, just really quickly, I wanted to ask you a couple questions about you.
Sorry.
To build that relationship that was beneficial, so he was comfortable with me and I was comfortable with him. Let's show muscle a little bit. We can keep pants on.
Oh, okay.
If you're okay with that.
Yes.
Being on the time crunch was very tough. You know what?
No, I'll send to you.
We're connected, so you go, and I'll even know. We don't even need words. Okay. I love that. 3, 2, 1. Oof.
He's a fun guy. He's kind of a goofy guy.
3, 2, 1.
She's getting that.
Ooh. I thought I was done maybe with 10 seconds left. I'm happy.
15 seconds left. You don't want to keep shooting,
let's
just in
keep
case some
going.
magic in the last 10
Yes.
seconds?
Nigel pushed to keep shooting, and one of the last shots was also one of my favorites.
The picture always happens. It's the very last
Let's
frame.
do one where you're going from here, there, looking back. Real quick. Go, go, go. In 3,
5 seconds.
2, 1.
Boom.
Walked in, I looked at my setup. I always like to meet my subject first. Miles,
Good, man. Good.
pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
We're gonna do some awesome action shots with you today. Miles is a tall guy, and you're gonna wanna catch him with the actual sword. So trying to contain all of that within a few feet of a backdrop is kind of challenging.
That's what I'm talking about.
My goal was to get him moving around. 3 and go.
Trust yourself, okay?
Yep.
You're looking at the back of your camera a lot. The clock is ticking. Just shoot.
Just go crazy with the jumps in the middle. 1, 2, 3, go. And I'm trying to get this low angle shot. Nigel comes behind me, he puts his leg up to my back so I can kind of balance on him, you know, so I wouldn't fall over trying to take this shot, you know.
And time.
And I feel like within there I got a gym somewhere.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Nigel.
Chris, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Roxy.
Nigel, thanks for sitting down with me.
Let's edit your film.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I noticed that I was starting to get the motion blurs there, and I was like, I gotta come down with my flash duration.
I really like these ones. I don't know if it'd be the one for this because it's more of an action thing.
Stuff like this. I like this one the best.
So here we started to get a lot better.
This is gonna sound silly, but I feel like anyone could kind of ask him to jump and get this shot, but this looks like he is running onto my set.
I think this one.
I like that one right there.
Yep,
This is a good shot, though.
I'm very happy with it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nigel.
See you later. Today's challenge was all about capturing the essence of US Olympic fencer Miles Chamley-Watson. But of course, no post-processing was allowed, which meant that today's challenge was also about your technical ability, as well as your ability to get to the core of the subject. So you know our first guest judge, action and sports photographer David Bergman.
Everybody.
And I'd like to introduce you to our second guest judge, sports reporter and commentator Ben Lyons.
How you guys doing?
Okay. Let's have a look at your photograph, shall we? Andrew, you're up first. Tell us about this shot.
I wanted to capture him in motion and action and what he does and like what his life is about. I wasn't like stoked on my picture, but I was like, it was definitely my style. Like definitely the downward angled, centered.
From a technical standpoint, it bothers me a little bit, the crop with the foot. There's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. That kind of pulls my attention away from the real focus of the image, which should be the look on his face and the action.
I did like his facial expression a lot, only because it is, like you said, just kind of, it's like two opposites almost.
I'm not sure that was successful here.
Here's a sport that has so much motion and so much calculated movement, and yet there's this stillness in his face that you really captured, which is pretty cool.
And stillness in an action photo, you know, the two together, they sort of almost clash, but the ideas actually work really well together. Okay, let's have a look at Chris's photo. A beautiful image.
Thank you.
It's almost as if he's holding the entire sport on his shoulders.
I really like the bending of the foil. It does give it that power that I like to see.
One of the problems for me with this picture is that as an action portrait, there really isn't much action. That being said, like I said from the get-go, it is a beautiful picture.
All right.
Up next, Scott.
It's generally a darker photo. He's moving from the shadows into the light.
Here's an athlete who, when he competes, he's covered. His face is covered. So there's some mystery around him, and I love how this photo captures that. There is some kind of mystery to the image and to who he is, and we're trying to learn more about him.
I really like what you did with the color here. It is quite a bit underexposed. There's a lot of shadow in there, almost too much for my taste.
I love the fact that you tried to sell us on the fact that you did that on purpose.
Oh, I did, actually.
That's a great thing to do, though, because regardless of whether it's right or not, or whether it was a mistake or not, I think that you need to always sell your picture and love your image.
I agree with you.
And I commend you for that. You did suffer, though, on set.
I was sweating bullets. Oh, man, time was ticking down. I think it hit 5 minutes, and the sweat just started pouring.
Up next is Roxy. Let's have a look at your picture. You see, boys, you can ask him to take his shirt off.
This photo is fantastic. I really enjoyed the playfulness to it, but he's all business. He's a serious world-class athlete, and he's almost looking back at the audience and saying, come with me into the sport of fencing that you probably know nothing about.
I think at first you were afraid to go off of the backdrop, and then you realized, well, he's gonna jump off that thing anyway, so I'll just roll with it. And I think that was a good choice.
I picked this one because this looks like a pretty big set, and yet he's so big that he's coming off the set.
Okay, Jamal, let's have a look at your shot.
There is this really nice, mix of power and grace, but it's almost on the defensive.
I like where you were going with it. The body positioning to me is a little awkward.
For some reason, I'm a little distracted by a sneaker. I don't know if it's because I'm a sneakerhead or I just feel like this is a sneaker commercial as opposed to maybe an artistic portrait that maybe it's like an ad.
First of all, well done to all of you. First challenge was not easy. We're going to deliberate. We're going to decide which picture we believe is the best, and sadly, who will be going home. So you do not think then that Andrew's argument that his particular personal style is always to shoot from above going down?
So first of all, I'm not 100% convinced that that is his style. For a sports picture, look, I've shot a lot of sports in my lifetime, and almost every single time I want to get as low as I can.
I honestly, man, my inexperience showed there, honestly. I was concerned.
Chris's photo, I mean, it's beautifully lit.
Yeah, he looks like the future of his sport.
I still think there's something missing a little bit in the face. There's just a sadness.
But maybe that's what it captures as opposed to kind of painting him as a god amongst men.
That's not what they were signed to do. They were signed to capture the essence of sport and the essence of Miles.
In an action shot.
In an action shot.
Cross-lighting was perfect.
And he's on the cover of Fencing Weekly. That's what
Yeah, but the assignment was to shoot action.
It was.
No action there. Maybe, I don't know, the bend.
Scott's shot.
Ultimately, to me, it doesn't capture the essence of who he is as an athlete or even his sport. I mean, I don't even really see the foil in his hand.
When we were watching him shoot, he had a number of times where he would hit the button and there was just a black frame. And he said, oh yeah, it looks great. Now I actually commend him for that a little bit because he faked it.
He didn't take a picture until at least 15 minutes into the 30 minutes because he was fussing with all the things that he wanted to do but couldn't do. And he got flustered.
Scott, yeah, I love your shot, man. It was good.
I just wish that my exposure on that one, just touch up, just a bit.
Now Roxy's shot really works for me. I think it's candid, I think it's funny, it's a little different. She took risks. This photograph spoke to her. She could have gone with the other great shots, which were perfectly framed and all the rest of it, but she didn't want it.
I had no idea that fencers wore Larry King suspenders.
Right? Who knew?
I'm educated by this photo. I'm entertained by it.
Okay, let's have a look at Jemiah's shot.
This one has me unsettled because I don't know if he's jumping forwards or jumping backwards. And also, I'm just like so enamored with the sneaker.
I do believe that a great shot has a narrative. There's something in there that when you see the picture, it tells a story. In this particular instance, I have no idea what the story is, other than a great sneaker.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is tough. Not easy.
No, some good stuff.
I believe we've made a decision. So we've discussed the competition and each of your performances, and the winner of today's challenge is going to receive an advantage in tomorrow's competition. They're also going to get a good night's sleep because they're going to get an upgrade into one of the luxury suites at the Paper Factory Hotel. David, would you like to announce who the winner is?
I would be honored to announce the winner. The winner of this first competition is Roxy.
Congratulations.
Walking out of the shoot, I didn't think, oh, I shot a winning photo today, but looking at it after, I'm so happy with the results.
Scott and Andrew, would you step forward?
That enthusiasm that Roxy talked about for her experience, I just didn't feel it for your guys' photos. I don't know if you had fun. Maybe you were stressed, maybe you were crunching for time, maybe you didn't vibe with Miles. It wasn't the same experience that Roxy had on the shoot.
Yeah, I think you're both here for different reasons. I think one of you tried to do too much, and the other one maybe didn't do enough.
Andrew, I like the idea that you had a signature style, but I did think that you really didn't have much rapport with your subject. You spent very little time getting to know him. You somewhat ignored him at the beginning of the shoot, and only towards the end of the shoot did you start to have fun. Scott, you came in and both of us were like, wow, this is going to be amazing. You came in with a passion and a determination, but at the same time, I think that you were rushing yourself. You gave yourself far too much to do. It was almost an impossible task. Any one of those ideas would have been brilliant. Because you failed on one of them, the whole thing went to pot. I'm afraid, sadly, obviously one of you will be eliminated. Andrew, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. The time at Top Photographer is over.
Thank you.
For the rest of you, the competition continues. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Get a good night's sleep. Well done.
I wish I would have connected with Miles, the model, a little more. It definitely showed that I didn't really try to interact with him a ton. And I'm honestly not too disappointed. It's a bummer, very first day to get out, but I did my best.
Pressure's on me, man. I was stressed as hell. I don't know, I want to win so bad that I just wasn't having fun.
We've become such great friends already, and it's only been day one.
Look at you, Miss Presidential Suite now.
Yeah, right. You got the penthouse.
I think I did a good thing today by having fun with it, just saying this is a new shoot, let's start from scratch, do what you know, no matter what.
Next time on Top Photographer, things heat up as the contestants have to make some tough decisions. We're stepping it up a notch today. You're going to be shooting a fashion advertising image for Pamela Rowland campaign.
Oh, dude, I don't know anything about hair and makeup.
She's in a $1,000 gown.
And we see who goes home and who gets one step closer
Keep shooting into the last minute.
Bit of an amateur shot.
to $50,000 in prizes, a showcase in New York City, and the right to call themselves Top Photographer.
I got voted off first day. Not really surprised though. I don't know anything about studio work. This week I'm just gonna be vlogging the whole time now, so no worries.
Dude.
Hey, that wasn't, it's okay.
Are you vlogging us right now?
To be honest, completely, it's almost like a relief. I think the vlog ends here today. I'm gonna get some work done.